What's up, y'all? Welcome to Nostalgic Sports. Today we're going to be covering college football stars who are now in the UFL, United Football League. Growing up, I watched a lot of college football, and I've always kept up with it closely. Now and again, I think back about how some of the college football stars from the past I love watching, and I haven't seen them on the field in the NFL, and I wonder what happened to them. Some fizzled out completely, some have backup roles in the NFL, some weren't cut out for the NFL, and some, like the ones we are going to be talking about today, joined the United Football League, where they were given an opportunity to still play football. These are players I personally remember watching them play college football that are currently in the UFL. Starting off with my favorite player on this list, we have Alabama legend and back-to-back national champion, A.J. McCarron. In McCarron's 3 starting seasons at Alabama, he led them to a national championship victory in 2011, another national championship victory in 2012, and then in his senior year led them to a Sugar Bowl appearance, and he was second place for the Heisman in 2013, runner-up to Florida State quarterback Jameis Winston. McCarron broke a lot of records at Alabama, including the all-time passing yards leader with 9,019 passing yards. With all the successful quarterbacks to go to Alabama after McCarron, that record still stands as he is currently still number 1 in all-time pass yards, above a lot of notable names on that list such as Bryce Young and Tua Tagovailoa, who are both current starters on NFL teams. A.J. McCarron was the perfect game manager at Alabama, and he rarely made costly mistakes and had a lot of success in college football. In 2014, he was selected in the 5th round to the Cincinnati Bengals, and he was moved around to multiple teams in the NFL where he has primarily been a career backup, but that's valuable considering he was still a backup in the NFL this season and will be returning to St. Louis where he will be starting quarterback for the Battlehawks. He's proved he's good enough to stay on NFL rosters, so now he will be given the on-field opportunities to showcase his talent. I'm really excited to see him suit up again for the St. Louis Battlehawks, and will be rooting for his success. I would love it if he would come back to Alabama and play for the Stallions, but I can keep dreaming. I see him balling out and putting up big numbers this year in St. Louis. The next player that was successful in college and is now in the UFL is Ole Miss quarterback Matt Corral, who's going to be playing his first year at the Birmingham Stallions. At Ole Miss during Corral's career, he threw for 57 touchdowns with 23 interceptions and 8,287 passing yards, which was enough to land the number 3 spot on Ole Miss all-time passing yards record list, with only Ole Miss legend Eli Manning and Bo Wallace having more career passing yards than Matt Corral at Ole Miss. In 2021, he led Ole Miss to a victory in the Outback Bowl, and then in 2022, he led Ole Miss to an impressive season with a New Year's Six Sugar Bowl appearance, where a lot of NFL prospects had been opting out of bowl games if they were about to prepare for the draft, but Corral stuck by his team and ended up getting hurt with a high ankle sprain, and that was the end of his Ole Miss career. He was respected by Ole Miss for not opting out of the Sugar Bowl, but it's sad for him that it happened. He wasn't able to compete at the Combine because of his injury, and there's no doubt that that hurt his NFL draft stock. He ended up getting drafted in the 3rd round to the Carolina Panthers, where he never saw the field and was never really given an opportunity in the NFL, so he is bringing his talents to the UFL, where he has the opportunity to get playing time again. And he's joining a successful UFL team in the Birmingham Stallions and has a big career opportunity where he could lead the Stallions to a 3-peat and could put more film together. I'm excited to see what he can do in the UFL this season, and I think he's going to be lighting up defenses, and I'm really hoping for a success in the UFL. The next player on this list is one of the hardest hitters I remember ever seeing, and that's Alabama linebacker Reuben Foster, who is currently on the Houston Roughnecks. In Foster's time at Alabama, he amassed 223 total tackles, with 124 being solo tackles in his career. He was a big playmaker on the 2015 National Championship team, and then in his final year at Alabama, he earned the Butkus Award, which is given to the national top linebacker. He went on to go in the first round of the 2017 draft, going 31st overall to the San Francisco 49ers. But his NFL career was short-lived from 2017 to 2020, and then in 2023, he ended up joining the USFL, where he played with the Pittsburgh Maulers and found a lot of success there. After the merger where the Pittsburgh Maulers were dropped from the UFL, the Houston Roughnecks picked up Reuben Foster from the disbanded team. I'm excited to see him play for Houston and bringing those hard hits to the UFL. Every quarterback that plays against the Roughnecks will be having a close eye on linebacker Reuben Foster, who'd be very intimidating running at you. He should bring back the old cowboy collar from Alabama. It used to be intimidating seeing a huge linebacker with a big neck pad. That trend died out, but he rocked it in college, and it would be cool if he brought it back. I'm excited to watch his huge hits continue in the UFL, and I see him having a very successful career. Next up is a guy that's truly a dual-threat quarterback, Adrien Martinez, playing for the Birmingham Stallions, out of Kansas State and Nebraska before that. Martinez played for 4 seasons on Nebraska's football team, and while he showed a lot of athleticism and promise, it was not a mix in Nebraska, and his full potential was never lived up to, along with a bunch of different injuries. But he was still fun to watch as he could take off and run explosively any play. After Nebraska didn't work out, he entered the transfer portal as one of the top quarterbacks, and he ended up going to Kansas State. At Kansas State, he was part of a 2-quarterback system with longtime K-State QB Will Howard, where Martinez was mostly used as a running quarterback threat with a lot of wildcat formation and RPOs. In that final college season at Kansas State, he actually ran for more touchdowns than he threw, with 10 rushing touchdowns and 6 passing touchdowns. So definitely a big rushing threat. All time in college, he was almost even in rushing and passing touchdowns, with 51 passing to 45 rushing touchdowns, which is the definition of dual threat, and made him so fun to watch at Nebraska and Kansas State. He spent time on the Lions as an undrafted free agent, but his NFL career wasn't panning out, so now he is at the Birmingham Stallions, where he has an opportunity to play. I know it was announced Martinez was going to be the backup to Corral, but I do think he'll be given an opportunity or used in a 2 QB system like they did at Kansas State. I could definitely see that with his fellow Stallions quarterback Corral, who I see being the more dynamic passer, but Martinez being the more dynamic runner. It will be interesting to see how it plays out for Adrien Martinez and the Birmingham Stallions, but I'll be watching for his opportunity and hoping for his success. I know there are many other past football stars that are currently in the UFL, but those are the 4 guys that I remember watching the most and had the biggest names in college football to join the UFL. I'm going to make a part 2 or continuation of this, so if you have any players you watched have success in college that are now in the UFL, leave them in the comments and maybe they will be covered in the next video. If you have any topics or future videos you would like to see me make, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Long live the UFL. Like and subscribe for more UFL, college football, and other sports content coming soon.